Hey guys, it's Daniel, licensed therapist. Cam Newton, professional athlete, celebrity, fashion icon. Okay, maybe icon's a little generous. MVP, Heisman Trophy winner, Pro Bowler,
genius, billionaire, playboy, philanthropist,
Super Bowl participant, and now podcaster. Cam, not known for his debating skills, in a recent podcast decided to go toe-to-toe with Dr. Cheyenne Bryant, a psychologist, and they got into an intellectual tussle about family and Cam's 8 children with 3 different women. Yes, Cam has 8 children with 3 different women, and I wonder how this is gonna go. Actually, no, I think we all know how it's gonna go, but we're gonna have a great time reacting to it. Let's get into it.
A lot of people see my situation and not think that I'm not high functioning.
What situation?
See my situation? That's a very vague question, and it's for you
What
to
situation are you referring to that they're looking at and thinking is not high function?
Just my life.
Your life entirely, or your life in relationships?
My life.
See, don't deflect. Let's stay here. Your life.
I love it. I love it. Cam is intentionally being vague when he brings up his situation, and then when Dr. Bryant asks about it, he's saying, "What situation?" And then he starts singing, and Dr. Bryant is having none of it, and she just immediately calls him out. And this may work with other people, but Dr. Bryant knows exactly what he's doing. As a therapist myself who's been around the block and have sat there with many clients, we understand and know when somebody doesn't want to talk about something, when they're dancing around something. And what I do in session is I sort of let the client know that I understand what they're doing and that I know that it's a sensitive topic and that they do not have to talk about it at all if they don't want to. But you know what that does? Usually it helps them open up. They feel more free knowing that I know what's going on, and they actually do start talking about it. Here, Dr. Bryant is taking a bit more of an aggressive approach, but this isn't therapy. This is a podcast. She realizes what he's doing and she calls it out. I think it's great.
Here. Your life entirely, or your life in relationships?
Both, really.
And they think that you're low functioning.
No, I don't.
You just said people see your life and think you're not high functioning. The opposite of that would be low functioning.
No. Okay, so here you go. You're trying to take my intentions away from this. Can I correct it?
Yeah, go ahead.
Or can I give you more?
Yes, more information. Heck yeah.
So, I'm not married, right? I have beautiful children.
How many?
8.
I didn't do my research. I thought it was 4, but 8. Okay.
No, baby.
Cool.
It's
By how
8.
many women?
3.
So like I said, this man has 8 children with 3 different women. And you can see Dr. Bryant didn't know this, and she's a little taken aback by it. And culturally, maybe this is acceptable amongst some cultures, but I guarantee you, psychologically speaking, she thinks this is horrible. Let's see how she reacts to it.
And this is the kicker. I want more. Now,
By multiple women? What's the intent
I
of
just
just saying
want God
about
to
your
bring
wife?
him. I just want God to bring him.
Oh, okay. And you have, so you just...
Because my point is this. My desire to get married is lower than my fear of divorce. So, as you would say it, Dr. Bryant, you said it, I didn't say it, I will agree. I'm just taking my time.
Look at Cam here. He is so smug. He thinks that he said something super insightful, but I think you can tell Dr. Bryant is not amused. And the thing about Dr. Bryant in this situation is she is super aware of what's going on. She's like 10 steps ahead. While he's getting out his thoughts, she already knows what she's gonna say. And you can tell she's trying to be patient, but she has these little tells that's letting you know that she's just loading up to unleash something at him. And Cam says something about marriage. He says that his desire to get married is a lot less than his fear of getting married. And I know some people would be really against this, but I think that it's not actually an unusual thought out there. I think a lot of people don't want to get married these days. I feel like marriage has a bad rap. So I don't really blame Cam for this. But I am curious, what is his fear of marriage and why is it so high? Or maybe he just really has no desire to get married. Either way, maybe he'll explain.
You're not taking your time.
I am, though.
You're being very action-based. You're not taking your time. You're being very action-based.
I'm taking my time.
You're being very action-based. You have 8 kids with 3 different women.
Yes.
You are creating, procreating, and multiplying. That is not taking your time. You're being very selectively active, okay? So you're creating, and disclaimer, the kids are innocent, they are beautiful and amazing. Anything I say has nothing to do with them babies, because I can't wait to be a mom, and I love the kids, period. But you are proactively choosing where you want to be active at and where you want to take your time. You want to take your time in having a wife because of your own fears. But you will, and I say this with all respect and love, what I'm about to say next, okay, Cam? But you will selfishly create broken families, even if you're in their life and you're a proactive father, and I believe you're an amazing daddy. I can only imagine with just your presence and knowing you thus far. But these families are still broken. Every child cannot have Papa in the house with them. So some child, if not all will end up with some kind of deficit without Daddy being there.
Well, there it is. You tell him, Dr. Bryant. And I think we have to appreciate Dr. Bryant's intentional language here. She's really being conscious about the words that she uses. She goes so far as to say that Cam is a great father, which I don't know. Is he a great father? I wouldn't say that, but I think she's really trying to sugarcoat what she's saying and make it more palatable to him. But she states it very plainly. There is a deficit without Daddy being there. And you know, a lot of people think, you know what, there's a lot of present fathers out there that they're not in the home, but they're still there in their kids' lives. And look, Cam is one of them. And he's not just any father, he's Cam Newton. A lot of people think, well, his kids are probably very lucky. Well, I do have to say that mental health professionals know that no, they are not lucky, and it would be better if the father was in the home. When Dad's not in the home, it does cause a whole bunch of problems. And we know because mental health professionals are the ones trying to clean up that mess. Let's keep going.
Now, you chose to do that. I'm not saying you sat there and woke up one morning and said, I want to be selfish today, so I'm going to go make a baby. Not saying that at all. But those are selfish acts at the expense of your fear. So at what point do you feel the fear, do it anyways? And yeah, that is a low functioning behavior. To say that I am going to create these homes. Let me go better. I'm going to build these houses and put kids and these beautiful women and kids in them, but I ain't going to create a home in them. I'm going to wait till I dissipate my fear to find a wife where I'm still going to be fearful with, because there's no such thing as not having some type of nerve or some type of feeling behind marrying somebody who you're spending your life with. And then I'm going to build a home with her while all these other beautiful babies have houses. That's completely unfair and it's selfish.
Oh, well, geez, when you say it like that, I think you might notice that all that smugness that Cam had, it's now completely gone. And I think that's because he knows deep down inside that Dr. Bryant is right. And I think a lot of people know that. But she does a really cool thing here. She separates Cam the person from Cam the acts. She says that these acts are selfish, but that he isn't a selfish person. And I think that that is a very good thing to do, because we don't want to put labels on people, especially these negative labels. So I'm looking at Dr. Bryant, and everything that she's doing here, I feel like is masterfully done.
Just tell me when I can solve.
Yeah, almost. That's completely unfair and that's selfish. And so, yes, you're taking your time in this department, but you're not taking your time in this department, which means you're compartmentalizing. And compartmentalizing never works. Compartmentalizing hurts everybody involved. Everybody who's in this box and that box and this box and that box and this box. And then here you go over here trying to figure out what box you're going to feed or entertain or do. Then you're looking outside to figure out who's your next victim to put in the box. It's unhealthy. And it's a huge dysfunction within our Black community that I truly believe personally, statistically, mental health-wise, and community-wise, that Black men would stop.
Black men will what?
Stop doing that, that they would stop that dysfunctional behavior of compartmentalizing and creating houses, not homes, and then finally a home with the wife. And then you have all these other houses that are homeless. But you over here, at some point when you do get a wife, if you do, I'm saying if that's what you want, you will, you'll get whatever you want. You're trying to create a home. Totally dysfunctional and extremely, that's the epitome of selfish. Epitome of selfish.
Okay, Dr. Bryant lost me with the whole box thing. If you have a translation of what that meant, please leave it in the comments below. And while you're there, like and subscribe. But she does bring up a good point about black men. And I know it's a sensitive issue. And I just have to say, I'm not racist. I love black people.
I love black people! I love black people!
In fact, my first job out of grad school was working at an agency with predominantly black clients and predominantly black coworkers, and it was great. Having said that, Dr. Bryant is 100% correct. Black men having children out of wedlock, which is a common thing culturally, is so bad for the black community. Honestly, I think if black men stopped doing that, a lot of the issues that the black community faces might actually just disappear. But I think a lot of people are thinking,
Hold up, wait a minute, something ain't right.
yes, you're right. It takes two to tango. What about the black women who are having these children with the black men? Don't they deserve responsibility? And yes, they do deserve the responsibility. So it's on both the men and the women.
What identifies as a broken home?
What you have going on with these, whoever you're not in the house with, is a broken home. It's called a blended family. It's called a blended family.
That means?
That the family is blended. So blended
So
means,
blended means broken.
yeah.
Okay. So the guy that you were entertaining, you would go as low as 26.
That I would entertain?
Yes.
Got it, okay.
And as high as what age?
Whatever man that doesn't have kids.
As high as?
Whoever doesn't have kids, whatever age he is with no kids.
I just.
No, that's the age. I'm saying I don't have an age range as far as how old. If he has no kids,
So your
he's a candidate.
non-negotiable is a person who does not have children.
My non-negotiable is a person with kids. But yes, I get how you're saying it, yes.
So you cannot date a person. You cannot be with a person.
I can, but I'm choosing not to.
So.
I can be with anyone, but I'm choosing not to.
You're.
I gotta correct it. It's my narrative, Cam.
You're
I
like
can,
jumping in,
I
jumping out. It's either.
Can. No, it's not I can't. There's no such thing. I can date whoever I want. I am definitely well equipped to do so.
Okay.
So I'm not going to allow that word to be something that fits what I can't do. I'm well equipped to date anybody.
Yes.
My preference,
Yes.
because there's nothing wrong with a lot of men who have kids. So I don't want to put that narrative out there.
Yes.
My personal preference is I would not choose to date a man with kids.
Okay.
Like I said, my first job was in this agency working with a lot of black people and a lot of black coworkers. And one of those coworkers was an old guy named Mac. And Mac was one of those guys that everybody loved. And one day we're in the hall, he was talking to me, and I was a young man at that time, and he started giving me advice. He said, Daniel, don't marry a woman with children. And do you know who was standing right next to us? My coworker who was a single mother. Let's just say she didn't appreciate it very much. And yes, she was triggered. Cam actually reminds me of my coworker. I feel like he's a little triggered right now. He's feeling a little sensitive. Basically, Dr. Bryant is saying, I would not marry a type of person like you. And I would think for Cam, that's a pretty tough pill to swallow because it's Cam Newton. Women probably throw themselves at him, and he probably has his pick of the litter. So to have this criteria put down and him basically being disqualified must be a very unusual situation for him. And I have to give Dr. Bryant a lot of credit here because no, not all single fathers are bad people, but I would say as a mental health professional, there is a reason why she has that criteria. Let's keep going.
Yes.
So you're dating a man with kids. Just a scenario.
Oh, okay, got it. Yes.
You're dating a man with kids.
Yes.
So you've identified that that's a broken home from the jump. With your verbiage of blended family means broken.
I've identified that I'm dating a broken man who is creating who he is, because we could teach what we know, we create who we are. And so broken people create brokenness, whether it's through a child, whether it's through a relationship, whether it's through themselves. It doesn't have to be a beautiful baby, but you're creating brokenness. And broken people can come from married households. I'm not saying that a two-parent household can't create the result of a child who then has brokenness and creates broken blended families everywhere. I'm not negating that.
That's not my point.
No, I know, I'm making that point. But yes.
But my point.
My answer is I not only identified that those homes are houses without a home because he's not in them,
Yeah.
but also that he's a broken man.
But you're going to be with a broken man.
No, I won't. I just said I wouldn't be with a man. I wouldn't be with a broken man who has multiple kids. I will take
No, not multiple. I'm
well,
talking
a kid. It doesn't matter.
So you're not going to date a man with children.
No, but let me clear this up because you said I won't date a broken man. That's not what I said.
No, I said, are you, listen to what I'm saying.
I heard you.
Doc.
Let me answer it. Hold on. We all have a level of brokenness. So will I date a broken man? Yes. Am I going to date a certain type of brokenness? No.
Of course you're not.
And that type of brokenness is a man who has kids outside of me isn't something that's conducive for what I want forever.
But will you date him?
No.
So that goes to my point. I'm trying to ask a question. You have two different men right here. One man who has...
I will not date a man with kids.
Okay, that's all I'm asking.
Yes.
Okay. I didn't want to say it, but Dr. Bryant here is saying that people who have kids and are not married are broken. And I'm afraid I would tend to agree with that. Not every single person with a kid not married is broken, but every single person with a kid and not married has some kind of story which tells us why they ended up in that situation. So what's the explanation? Hey, maybe it was a dad and a wife and a kid, and they were a great family, and the mom passes away. Or maybe the mom has some kind of traumatic brain injury, develops a totally new personality, and just leaves and disappears. Or maybe aliens beam the mom up from Earth into the sky, and she's just gone, and the dad is a great, wonderful, unbroken person. It just happens to be wifeless. Sure, those all could be true, and that leaves us with a dad who is not broken with a child. But I think we know 9 times out of 10 that somebody is a single parent because of some kind of poor decision. And like what Dr. Bryant says, usually those poor decisions come from somebody who is broken. And it appears that that is who Cam Newton is, and it's kind of awkward because they're sitting right in front of each other. It does make for some great content. Well, those are my thoughts on Cam Newton and Dr. Bryant. Hope you guys liked that. If you have anything else you want me to react to, just leave it in the comments down there. I appreciate you guys for watching. See you next time.